Good morning, children. So we are in the next chapter for the 6th standard, that is the new questions and ideas. New questions and ideas, chapter 6, right? Anagha's school trip. This was the first time Anagha was going on a school trip. They boarded the train from Pune in Maharashtra late at night to go all the way to Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh. Her mother, who came to see her off at the station, told the teacher, "Do tell the children about the Buddha and take them to see Sarnath as well." So Anagha is going for a school trip, and what she is told by the when they boarded to Pune in Maharashtra late at night, and she has to all to go to the way to where to the Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh. Her mother, who came to see her off at the station, told the teacher that, "Do tell the children about the Buddha. You tell the children about the Buddha and take them to Sarnath as well." Right, you all know who is Buddha and all, you know that story also, but here teacher is telling that she is stressing that Buddha is a religious guru. You tell her to know, you tell the story of the Buddha, you tell her what was his teachings and all, so that the children gets motivated and they go in the right way in their life, they follow the right path in their life. So let us go now. The story of Buddha. What is the story of Buddha? Siddhartha, also known as Gautama, the founder of Buddhism, was born about 2500 years ago. So when was Buddha born? He was born around 2500 years ago. He was also known as Siddhartha. His name was Siddhartha, and he was also known as the Gautama, the founder of the Buddhism. There is a famous saying, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, right? So he was he was the founder of what? He was the founder of the Buddhism. As you saw in chapter 5, some kings in Mahajanapadas were growing more powerful. You have seen Janapadas and Mahajanapadas. In that Mahajanapadas, the kings, the people who are there, the Jana who were there, they were growing more powerful. They were becoming more powerful. New cities were developing. What happened? We saw that there was a development of the new cities were there. And what happened? Life was changing in the villages as well. In the villages also, what we saw that the life was changing. How it was changing? Right, let us see. Many thinkers were trying to understand these changes in the society. So many thinkers, what they were doing? They were trying to understand these changes in the society. What changes are happening in the society? That some thinkers were very interested to know the changes what was happening in the society. They also wanted to try and find out the true meaning of life. So we all lead the life. We eat food, we sleep, we do lunch, we do dinner. Is this the life? Is this the life for what we are all struggling? Is it a life? What is the real meaning of the life? We want to know the real meaning of the life. What is it? The Buddha belonged to the small Gana known as the Sakya Gana and was a Kshatriya. So in order to many people were interested to know the meaning of the life. We all do so. We all are just leading our life, but we don't know what is the real meaning of the life. And in those days, people were interested to know what is the real meaning of the life. So the Buddha belonged to a small Gana as the Sakya Gana. So it was the what you can say, and was a Kshatriya. Their group, their what you can say, their kingdom's name, or that what you can say, the family in which he was belonging is known as the Sakya Gana, which was their caste was what? Kshatriya. When he was a young man, he left the comforts of his home in search of knowledge. He was a king, he was a Kshatriya, he was a ruler, but he left all the comforts of the life. He left that kingship. He left everything and he went where? He left his wife Yashoda. his son Rahul, he left and he went into the forest in search of the knowledge. He wandered for several years. What he did, he wandered for several years, meeting and holding discussions with other thinkers. With other thinkers, he was having a continuous discussion with them about what is life, what is the real meaning of life, how to get away from the what you can say difficulties, how to get away from the difficulties, how to come up from the life, how to come up from the what you can say dukkha in our life, the sadness, how to come up from the sadness of life. Right, ase dukh ke moola, as said by the Buddha. So when we keep lot of hopes on something, we are going to feel bad about it. So never keep any hopes on your life. Don't keep more and more hopes on your life. When you keep lot of hopes and when it is not fulfilled, what happens? You will get disturbed, you will become unhappy, you will become sad in your life. So never keep lot of hopes. Do your karma, do your duty. What is your duty now, children? To sit and study, do your duty, then leave the result on the God. He finally decided to find his own path to realization and meditated for days on end under a peepal tree at Bodh Gaya in Bihar. So what happened? He finally found his own path to realization and he meditated for days together under a peepal tree. Right, at Bodh Gaya in Bihar it is there. There he started meditation under the peepal tree, where he attained enlightenment. Enlightenment means he finally saw the God, right, and he came to the decision that after that he was known as the Buddha or the wise one. So after achieving the enlightenment under the peepal tree, people came to know him as the Buddha or the wise one. He then went to Sarnath near Varanasi, where he taught for the first time. Then he went where? To Sarnath near Varanasi, where Anagha's mother told the teacher that you have to definitely go to Sarnath and you have to, which is near Varanasi, and tell the students regarding the story of the Buddha. For the first time he went to Sarnath near Varanasi, where he taught for the first time. He taught his principles, his teachings to whom? To his followers. He spent the rest of his life traveling on the foot, going from one place to place, teaching people till he passed away in Kusinara. So what he did, he spent rest of his life in traveling on foot, not wearing the sandals, chappals and all. On barefoot he was walking, he was moving from one place to the other place, teaching people till he passed away at Kusinara. Till his death happens, what he was doing? He was telling the teachings, he was telling his teachings to his followers. You have heard lot of Buddha's story, right? Like that all stories, that all teachings he used to do to his followers. The Buddha taught that life is full of suffering and unhappiness. Yes, don't think that life is always full of happiness. Life is not always with the comforts of the people. It is not like that. It is full of suffering and unhappiness. What you see in the life, you see full of sufferings are there, unhappiness is there. This is caused because we have carvings and desires which often cannot be fulfilled. So what we have? We often have the carvings and desires. We have lot of ashagalu. Ashaya dukkhakke moola. So because of that, what happens? We are not fulfilled. Our satisfaction level cannot be fulfilled. It is not at all fulfilled. Today we want to purchase the bike. When the bike is there, you are not happy. Tomorrow you want to purchase what? Car. When the car is there, you are not happy. Tomorrow you want to purchase aeroplane. Aeroplane is also with you, you are not happy. So these things are happening. You are not at all satisfied. Because you don't have satisfaction, what happens? You are always, you are able to have the sadness in your life, unhappiness in your life, because you are not satisfied with what you are having. Sometimes even if we get what we want, we are not satisfied and want even more or want other things. I told you, you have a cycle now, your father gives you a bike. After some days, you are fed up with the bike, you want car. You will get the car. After some days, what happens? You are bored with the car. You want to go in an aeroplane. When aeroplane is also available to you, you will get fed up or bored up, and then again you will purchase the new things, new vehicles. That as now you have seen the film stars. Amitabh Bachchan, he is not satisfied with one brand car. He purchases 2 crores cars, 3 crores cars, because he is not satisfied with the one car. The Buddha described this as the thirst or tanha. He says this is the thirst of life. ನೀರು ಕುಡ್ದಷ್ಟು ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ರೀ, ಬಾಯಾರಿಕೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗ್ತೈತಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಥರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್. He thought that this constant carving could be removed by following moderation in everything. So this constant carving can be removed away by following the moderation in everything. Moderation means satisfaction. We should be satisfied at some levels. It is not that always we want. We should make ourselves satisfied at some levels. He also taught people to be kind and to respect the lives of others, including the animals. Very important. You need to respect the life of the others. You need to respect the life of the animals also. Not only your life you have to respect, but you have to respect the life of the others, because they are also important part of the society. ನಾವು ಬರೀ ನಮಗಷ್ಟ ಕಿಮ್ಮತ್ತು ಕೊಡೋದು, ನಾವ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಅನ್ನೋದಲ್ರಿ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೇಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಆಕೆ ಏನದಾಳ, ಅವೇನದಾನ, ಇವೇನದಾನ, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಾತಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಓನ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ಯು. ಪುಟ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದೆಮ್, because nobody is there to put the food for the animals, right? Whatever is there remaining food, at least that you can give it to the animals. He believed that the results of our actions called karma, whether good or bad, affect us both in this life and the next. So what he told, the karma, the actions what we are doing, it not only affects our today's life, but it also affects our next life also. ಸೊ ಮುಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದಾಗ ಸಹಿತ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ರೀ, ಅದು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಲೀವ್ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್, ಡರ್ಟಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಜಲಸಿ, ಟೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಸ್, ರೈಟ್? And what you can say, not always happy, always sadness, creating the negative atmosphere, talking about the others, gossiping, that all should be removed. We have to take all the things on a positive side. We should not think on the negative side of life. Always talking negative things about others, it is not, never it will bring the satisfaction to us. The Buddha taught in the language of the ordinary people, Prakrit, so that everybody could understand his message. He already, I told you, he had his teachings were taught in the language of Prakrit, means everyone must and should understand the language. This is the stupa at Sarnath. This building known as the stupa was built to mark the place where the Buddha first taught his message. We will learn more about stupas in chapter 11. See, this is the place where it was built in order to remember that the Buddha had taught his preachings in this place for the first time. What was the language used to compose the Vedas? He also encouraged people to think for themselves rather than to simply accept what he said. So what Buddha was telling, whatever I am saying, don't accept it. Don't take it as granted. You also think about it, whether it is correct or not. whether whatever I am saying, are you getting satisfied by it or not? Think about it. Don't come to the conclusion that whatever the Buddha is saying is correct. Think you yourself, think you yourself, analyze the things and then come to conclusion that whether the whatever the Buddha is telling is correct or not. Next one, the story of the Kis Gautami. Here is a famous story about the Buddha. Once there was a woman named Kisa Gautami, whose son had died. So whose son had died. She was so sad that she roamed through the streets of the city carrying the child with her, asking for help to bring him back to life. So this Kisa Gautami was a lady, was a woman in the village. What happened? Her son was died, and that time she was taking that dead body. She was carrying that dead body in the streets of the city and asking the help for everyone to bring back to the life. A kind man took her to the Buddha. So one kind man took her to Buddha. The Buddha said, "Bring me a handful of mustard seeds and I will bring back your child back to life." So Buddha said that you have to bring a handful of mustard seeds, sasmi kalu, so that I will bring your child back to the life. Kisa Gautami was overjoyed and started off at once, but Buddha gently stopped her and added, "The seeds must come from the house of a family where nobody has died." So here Buddha is telling that ನೀ ಸಾಸ್ಮಿ ಕಾಳು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರ ಮನೆಗೆ ಯಾರೂ ಸತ್ತಿರಂಗಿಲ್ಲಲ್ರಿ, ಅಂಥ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ನೀ ನನಗೆ ಸಾಸ್ಮಿ ಕಾಳು ತಂದು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನ ಮಗನ ಬದುಕಿಸಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. Right, that what Buddha said to her. Kisa Gautami went from door to door, but whenever she went, she found out that someone or the other, father, mother, sister, brother, husband, wife, child, uncle, aunt, grandfather, grandmother had died. See here, in every home, from door to door, wherever she went, she was hearing that someone or the other, father, mother, husband, sister, brother, child, uncle, aunt, grandfather, some person had died in their home. What was the Buddha trying to teach the sorrowing mother? So he was trying to teach that it is the person who has taken birth has to die once. Some will die early, some will die later, but this is the how in the earth the life cycle is going on. No person is going to live for 1,000 years on the earth. Some person will die earlier, some persons will die later. But this chakra, life chakra is going on. This is what he wanted to teach to the mother, sorrowing mother. Don't feel bad regarding the son's death. Don't feel so sad. In every home, every house, there are the people, they are dying. It is not that only in your house people have died. In others' home also there are deaths happening. In the world only the deaths are happening. He is a crorepati, he is a millionaire. Do you think he will not die? He will die. Apple company owner, Bill Gates, he died of what? Cancer. He had the cancer, right? So everywhere it is going to happen. The person, whether you are rich or poor, death is certain. Upanishads. Around the time that the Buddha was preaching and perhaps a little earlier, other thinkers also tried to find answers to difficult questions. Some of them wanted to know about life and after death. Others wanted to know why sacrifices should be performed. Many of these thinkers felt that there was something permanent in the universe that would last even after the death. So they wanted to have the answers for these questions. Many thinkers, many saints were searching the answers for this question, that is there life after the death? Right, is there a life after the death? Why we should do sacrifices? Means why you should do yagnas? Why should we perform the pujas? right? Many felt that is there any permanent thing in the universe, right? Even after the death, is there something, anything which is permanent? They described this as the Atman, or the individual soul, and the Brahmana, or the universal soul. So here they are telling that there is the Atma, there is the universal soul is there. They believed that ultimately both the Atma and the Brahmana were one. So both the Atma and Brahman were one. They are not different. Many of the other ideas were accorded in the Upanishads. These were part of the later Vedic texts. So many of them ideas were recorded in the Upanishads. Also there were ideas. These were part of the later Vedic text. Later part of the Vedic text was recorded in the Upanishads. Upanishads literally meaning approaching and sitting near, and the text contained conversations between the teachers and the students. Often ideas were presented through simple dialogues. Here Upanishads meaning is what? Sitting, approaching and sitting near. Sitting near means here the Upanishads are the dialogues between the teacher and the students. Let us see here 6 schools of Indian philosophy. There are 6 schools who teach what? Indian philosophy. Let us see what are the 6 schools. Over centuries, India's intellectual exploration of truth has come to be represented by 6 systems of philosophy. So by 6 systems of philosophy, Indian philosophy has been taught. These are known as the Vaishika, Nyaya, Samkhya, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, Vedanta, or Uttara Mimamsa. These 6 systems of philosophy are said to have been founded by sages Konada, Gautama, Kapila, Patanjali, Jamini, Vyasa respectively. So these are the philosophies. There are 6 philosophies, that is Vaishika, Nyaya, Samkhya, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, and Vedanta or Uttara Mimamsa. So these are taught by the 6 systems of philosophy are taught by whom? The sages, means the rishis, Konada, Gautama, Kapila, Patanjali, Jaimini and Vyasa respectively. These philosophers still guide scholarly discourse in the country. German-born British ideologist Friedrich Max Muller has observed that the 6 systems of philosophy were developed over many generations with contributions made by the individual thinkers. These philosophies were studied by whom? By the German-born British Indologist Friedrich Max Muller. So this was the person who had studied the Indologist, right? He studied the 6 systems of philosophy and said that they were developed by the thinkers, right? By the people they were developed. Individual thinkers have developed this 6 system. However, today we find an underlying harmony in their understanding of truth, although they seem distinct from each other. So what was there? There was a harmony of the truth. Whatever they told, it is the true till today, right? Whatever they have told till today, we are finding it is true. Let us see the wise beggar. Here is a dialogue based on a story from one of the most famous Upanishads, the Chandogya Upanishad. Let us see Chandogya Upanishad. Let us see. Shaunaka and Abhipratarin were the 2 sages who worshipped the universal souls, right? They were worshipping the souls, universal soul. Once as they sat down to eat, a beggar came and asked for some food. So when they were eating, that time a beggar came. These 2, Shaunaka and Abhipratarin, when they were eating, these 2 sages, rishis, when they were eating, and that time a beggar came and asked the food to them. We cannot spare anything for you, Shaunaka said. Shaunaka said that we cannot spare anything for you. The food is very limited. We need that food. We cannot give to you. Learned sirs, whom do you worship? The beggar asked. So the learned sirs means you are the learned people. Whom are you worshipping? The universal soul. Abhipratren replied. It means that you know that the universal soul fills the entire world. Then here, whom you are worshipping, he asked. That time they told universal soul. Then that time beggar told that universal soul is means it filled entire the world. Yeah, yes, we know that. The sages nodded. The sages nodded and they said that yes, we know. If the universal fills the whole world, it fills me too. So when it is fills the whole world, then it fills me too. I am also in the universal world. Who am I but a part of the world? The beggar said. So what the beggar said now, if the universal soul fills the whole world, it fills me also too, because I am also the part of the universal world. You speak the truth, O young Brahmin. Here they are telling that whatever you are speaking, it is the truth, O young Brahmin. Then, O sages, by not giving me food, you are actually denying the food to the universal soul. So here what he is telling that you are denying me to give the food. It means that you are denying the universal soul to give the food. How did beggar convince the sages? The sages realized the truth of what the beggar said and shared their food with him. So when he said that you are not only denying to give food to me, but you are also denying the universal soul, that time they came to know that, they realized the truth, and the beggar said, and they gave the food, they shared the food with the beggar also. ಈ ಕತ್ತಿನಾಗ ಏನೈತ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಋಷಿಗಳು ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರ, ಊಟ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಂತ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರ. ಅವಾಗ ಒಬ್ಬವ ಬಿಕಾರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬಡ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಬರ್ತಾನ, ಊಟ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನ. ಇವ್ರೇನಂತಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಊಟ ಕೊಡೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಇದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಾಕಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಡೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು ಅವನೇನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾನ ಬೆಗ್ಗರ, ನೀವು ಯಾರನ್ನು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಅವಾಗ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಂತಾರೆ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಲ್ ಸೋಲ್. ಸೊ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಲ್ ಸೋಲ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡದ ಆತ್ಮ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡದ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗ. ಮತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಊಟ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡದ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗಕ್ಕೂ, ಒಂದು ಸೋಲ್, ಒಂದು ಆತ್ಮಕ್ಕೂ ಊಟ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಅವಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಸತ್ಯ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಆವಾಗ ಬಾಪ ನಾವು ನಿನ್ನ ಜೋಡಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Sitting near, and the text contained conversations between teachers and students. I already told you what are Upanishads. Upanishads are nothing but approaching and sitting near. This is the nothing but there are the conversations between the teacher and the students. Often ideas were presented through simple dialogues. So whatever the ideas are there, they were presented how? Through simple dialogues, not in complex dialogues, simple dialogues, so that everyone can understand. Most Upanishadic thinkers were men, especially Brahmins and Rajas. So those who were Upanishads, who were they? They were the Brahmins or they were the kings. Occasionally there is a mention of women thinkers such as Gargi, who was famous for her learning and participated in debates held in royal courts. So what happened? There was also a saint, woman saint. Her name was Gargi. She was also a thinker who was famous for her learning and participated in the debates. She used to also participate in the debates held in the royal courts. Royal courts means in the king's courts. Then what happens? Poor people rarely took part in these discussions. Yes, poor people rarely they used to participate in these discussions. One famous exception was Satyakamba Jabala, who was named after his mother, the slave woman Jabali. So there was one famous exception was Satyakamba Jabala. who was named after his woman, after his mother, the slave woman Jabali. He was named after whom? After the mother name, not after the father name, but after the mother name, who was a slave, Dasi, Alidilri. He had a deep desire to learn about the reality, was accepted by as a student by a Brahmin teacher named Gautama. He had a great feeling, he was very much interested in learning. Yes, how many students are really interested in learning? Some people come to school because they are put in the schools. By force they are coming, not by interest to learn something. But what happens here, this person Satyakamba was interested to learn. So he went as a student to a Brahmin teacher known as Gautama and became one of the best known thinkers of the time, because he had the hunger to study. He wanted to study. That was his aim. Ambition was there. I have to study something from the teacher. He was most interested in studies. Now children are studying because mother is pressurizing them, father is pressurizing them. For that sake they are studying. Out of their own interest they don't study. So in the olden days, this Satyakamba was really interested to study, and he went to a Brahmin teacher Gautama, where he became one of the best known students, best known thinkers of that time. Right, many of the ideas of Upanishads were developed by the famous thinker Shankaracharya, about whom you will read in the class 7th. So in class 7th we are going to read about the Shankaracharya's thinkings and his preachings. Panani the grammarian. Here let us see. This was also the time when other scholars were at work. One of the most famous was Panani, who prepared a grammar for Sanskrit. So Panani, she had prepared the grammar for the Sanskrit. He prepared the grammar for the Sanskrit. He arranged the vowels and the consonants in a special order and then used to create a formula like those found in algebra. So he had arranged the vowels and the consonants in a special order, and he used to create formulas also like those in the algebra. He used these to write down the rules of the language in short formulae. So what he did, he had found out the formulas and he write down the rules of the language. He made them as the rules of the language, around 3000 of them. How many formulas he created? 3000 formulas he had created. Next one is the Jainism. We all read about now Buddhism. Let us move towards the Jainism. So Jainism, the last and the 24th Tirthankara of the Jainas, Vardhamana Mahavira, also spread his message around this time, that is 2500 years ago. So the last and 24th Tirthankaras of the Jainas, Vardhamana Mahavira, also spread his message around this time, that is he also was born in the same contemporary period 2500 years ago, when the Siddhartha or Buddha was born. He was a Kshatriya prince of the Lichavis, a group that was the part of the Vajji Sangha, about which you read in the chapter 5. In the chapter 5 we have seen the Vajji Sangha. From that family, Kshatriya prince of Lichavis, means Lichavis, from the Lichavis this man was there. That is at the age of 30 he left home. So he was a prince belonging to the Lichavis, a group which was the part of Vajji Sangha. He left the home and went to live in forest. At the age of 30, he left the home and he went to live in the forest. For 12 years, he led a hard and lonely life. So about 12 years, he was alone and he lived in the forest, at the end of which he attained the enlightenment. For 12 years, he had a lonely life, and at the end of it, he had attained the enlightenment. Means he saw the God. He taught a simple doctrine: men and women who wished to know the truth must leave their homes. They must follow very strictly the rules of ahimsa, which means not hurting or killing living beings. So what he said, that he followed a simple doctrine. Men and women who wished to know the truth must, what they should do? They should leave the homes. They must follow very strictly the rules of ahimsa. Ahimsa means not hurting or killing living beings. All living beings, said Mahavira, long to live. All living beings have the right for long to live. To all the things life is dear. Yes, for all. What is important for you all? Is it the money or the life? What is important for you all? It is the life. For everyone, life is important. Right? Ordinary people could understand the teachings of Mahavira and his followers because they used the Prakrit language. So Mahavira taught all his principles in the Prakrit language. It was very easy for them to understand it. There were several forms of Prakrit used in different parts of the country and named after the regions in which they were used. For example, the Prakrit spoken in Magadha was known as the Magadhi. So what happened here? The people in the different parts of the country named after the different regions in which they were used. For example, the Prakrit language was spoken in all the parts of India, but if it is spoken in Magadha, they used to call the language name as the Magadhi. Followers of Mahavira, who were known as the Jainas, had to lead very simple lives. So what happened? The followers of the Jainism were forced to live a very simple life. They have to live very simple life. If you have followed the Jainism, if you are a Jain, then you have to lead the simple life. You cannot lead a luxurious life like the others. Begging for food, what you have to do? You have to beg for the food. They had to be absolutely honest and were especially asked not to steal. What you should be? You should be honest and you should not steal the things from the others. Also, they had to observe celibacy, and men had to give up everything, including their clothes. Observe celibacy means whatever is going in the life, they have to just observe it. They should not get involved in the problems of the life. They have to see it, they have to observe it, they have to find the solutions for it, but they should not get involved in it. ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನೋಡಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಹತ್ತಿರದಿಂದ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಜಗಳ ಆಡಕತ್ತಾರ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ, ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಚಲೋ ಅದಾರ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಇವರು ಹೋಗಿ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಶುಡ್ ಲೀವ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಮೆನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಅಪ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕ್ಲೋತ್ಸ್. 1 ಇಂಚ್ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಸಹಿತ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಂಗಿಲ್ರಿ. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲೀವ್ ದೇರ್ ಕ್ಲೋತ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ Jainism tells. You should not wear the clothes, you should not do the things, you should not eat luxurious food, you cannot lead a luxurious life. How you should eat the food? By begging you have to eat the food. ಬರೇ ಒಂದು ಮುಷ್ಟಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಅನ್ನವನ್ನು ಊಟ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಎಷ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ಭಿಕ್ಷೆ ಬೇಡಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಕೈನಾಗ ಭಿಕ್ಷೆ ಬೇಡಕ್ರಿ, ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ನಾಗ ಬುಟ್ಟಿನಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಎರಡು ಕೈನಾಗ ಎರಡು ಕೈ ಜೋಡಿಸಿದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿಗ್ತೈತಲ್ರಿ, ಅಷ್ಟು ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಊಟ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಊಟ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲೀವ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ಲೋತ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ವಿಯರ್ ದ ಕ್ಲೋತ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ಟೆನ ಸಹಿತ ನೀವು ತ್ಯಾಗ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ಟೆಯಿಂದನೂ ನಮಗೆ ಮೋಹ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, ಹೌದಿಲ್ರಿ? ವಿ ಫೀಲ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ವಿಯರ್ ಗುಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋತ್ಸ್, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲುಕ್ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್. So all these things are there. You cannot leave your hairs also. You should cut your hairs, ರೈಟ್. ನೀವು ಕೂದಲನ್ನು ಸಹಿತ ಬಿಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕೂದಲಿತ್ತನ ಮತ್ತು ಹೇರ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಮಾಡು, ಮತ್ತು ಕಟ್ಟು, ಮತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡು, ಮತ್ತು ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡು, ಮತ್ತೇನಾಗತ್ತೆ ರೀ, ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಜೀವನದ ಮೋಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಕೂಡ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನೂ ಒಂದು ಮೋಹ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಜೀವನ ಕೂಡ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಿಲ್ರಿ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನೋ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಕಿಲ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅದರ್ಸ್. ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಹುಳಾನ ಕೊಲ್ಲಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಇರ್ಬಿನ ಕೊಲ್ಲಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಲ್ಲುವಂಥ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ದೇವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಎವ್ರಿ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್, he is born in the earth to have a long life, to have a good life, right?